In this series, which will be at least 10 episodes, we will first try to define event sourcing in general, and I will give my own perception and take on the subject. Then, in another episode, we will try to define it in the computer science context, and I will try to give you some well-known examples. Then, in this series, we will talk about the polyglot persistence and polyglot data, and we will consider how event sourcing makes it possible. Then in another episode, we will talk about what benefits and gains you get by event sourcing, like time travel, data migration, and so forth. Then we will talk about some similar well-known design patterns, like audit log or temporal object or temporal property defined by Martin Fowler. Then we will pursue why an event store is a special technology with specific capabilities crafted for event sourcing. And we will enumerate few other options out there, especially the Event Store DB by Greg Young. And we will talk about why technologies like Kafka or MongoDB cannot suit as an event store. Then in the subsequent episodes, we will try to create a simple project and refactor it towards event sourcing to demo the event sourcing capabilities. Unfortunately, although most heroes consider event sourcing as one of the best and accurate ways of modeling domains, there are not that much of content out there in the subject. Though we should mention that there are some chapters in some great books dedicated to the subject of event sourcing, like DDD by Scott Millett or the whole book of Alexei Zimarev, which all try to explain the best practices of implementing event sourcing in the code level. Martin Fowler, like in this talk of his, used to say that he always pokes Greg Young to write the book of event sourcing, but other than publishing a dozen of conference talks, an online class that is a must-see, and a versioning book, he has not written the book yet. My perception and take on the subject and how I've implemented in the products that I've been involved in, at least the portions that are accurate, is mainly developed by contents that Greg Young has published, which is the guy behind CQRS, event sourcing, Event Store DB, and many more. So big shout out to Greg Young.